Hi everyone, this is Pastor Lam, and wish you a happy new year on this day, 2024, January 1st. About 2 weeks ago, I make a YouTube announcement about True Kitchen, which has been our online ministry for the past 7 years. It will be moving from China Congregational Church, where I have been a pastor for the past 7 years. Will be moving the physical location from China Congregational Church to another venue, 13th floor, Park Avenue Tower, 5 Moretown Terrace in Causeway Bay, and it is a commercial building, and we don't own that. We don't own the building. We don't even own anything in the building. We're just renting a floor, which is on the 13th floor. So you make your way to there, make sure you go to the 13th floor, and it is near the Central Library, very convenient location. The name of the church is Crossway Christian Church. Crossway Christian Church. So last night I actually took time to change the banner of True Kitchen. So some of you have been listening to True Kitchen, mostly maybe to the Cantonese sermons, but I've been posting English sermons since about 4 years ago, and so I changed the banner from our Saturday worship, usually Saturday worship and Sunday English worship, to a new banner. Now, when you look at this banner, you realize that there is actually an additional worship service, and indeed, we would like to start another Chinese worship service, on Sunday, and so we have our usual Cantonese worship service at 5 p.m. on Saturday, and then we will have Sunday Cantonese morning worship at 9:30, and then the English worship for now continue to stay at 11:15. So there is no change in the time. Saturday worship still at 5 o'clock on Saturday, and English worship Sunday at 11:15 a.m. However, we are adding one more Chinese worship service on Sunday. For now, it will be Cantonese, but down the road, later on in the year, we will consider having a Mandarin worship, because that we believe is where we want to go in terms of ministry direction and sharing the gospel in 3 languages. So this Saturday and this Sunday, we are working hard to make the place ready for the launch. So on Saturday, the 6th of January, please come to Cantonese Saturday worship service if you can, or invite your family and friends. And of course, on the Lord's Day on the 7th, there will be one Chinese worship service as well as English worship service. As we launch this church, Crossway is all about the cross. So I will be preaching a series about 4 sermons or so from 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and 2. And the message, the title of the sermon series will be Good News to an Inverted City. Good News to an Inverted City. Hong Kong is an inverted city. Hong Kong needs the gospel. Hong Kong needs the gospel like the first century Corinth, and so when Paul get to Corinth, and he planted a church, and he wrote to them later on during his missionary journey to First Corinthians and Second Corinthians, and Paul especially used the message of the cross to move the people there, and he talked about the message of the cross being foolishness, to the world, stumbling blocks to the Jewish people, yet to the people who believe it is the power of God unto salvation. So please come and listen together with us Paul's message of the cross to an inverted city. So we'll be having our grand opening later on this week, and people have been asking me, how can we encourage you? How can I encourage you? Should I bring a check? Should I get ready to give to your church? And I really, really appreciate the thought and the love, but let me say this. We don't even have a bank account. It's pretty difficult nowadays to apply for a bank account, so we are still in the process. And meanwhile, we are also applying, for charity status to become a church. So at least for this month, we don't even know whether we will be collecting offering. But what does it matter? It's not about money. It's not, about, it's all about the gospel. And so we want you to come to hear the gospel. And whether we are ready to take offering or not, I do not know. And when it will be ready, I don't know. But let's just go by faith because it is all about the gospel. And some people also ask me, can I, since it's a grand opening, can we have a basket of flowers or something like that? Once again, I said, no, this is not a grand opening like a restaurant or, some shops and supermarkets. We are a church, and we are just a baby church. We are learning our way. We are trying to plan something that will become permanent. And until that day, and that day may be 10 years later, we are not going to celebrate. There is nothing to celebrate. Yes, we celebrate the grace of God, but there is nothing for ourselves to celebrate. We just really want to make this church plant grow so that it can become a real church. So what can you bring to for this grand opening? What should you bring? Well, you should bring a lot of prayers, and you should bring your friends and family. Whether they are already Christian or not yet a Christian, whether they have been looking for a church or where they have not been going to church at all. We welcome everyone, and now that we have a more confined space, everything is in one floor. Yes, it's more crowded, but it's also more intimate. We want to be a welcoming church. We want to be a church that people can feel our seriousness about the Word of God and our love for God and for each other. So please do come. Please do come and bring your friends and family. And yes, we struggle with children ministry. We don't have enough resources, both space-wise and personnel-wise, to have a real, a complete children ministry. But here we are. We have designated a space for young children. If parents need to stay with them, there will be a monitor that will show you the live worship. And for the older children, we really encourage them to stay with the parents in the worship, and as long as they can stay relatively quiet, and we welcome their presence. And even if they are making some noises, and that's perfectly fine. That's how we were all when we were little, and that is how we grow. As you worship the Lord and you hear the sermon, you'll be surprised how much the children can actually grasp the Word of God. So the number one thing that we would like you to bring is yourself and your friends and families, and bring us a lot of love, a lot of prayer. And if you happen to drop by this Saturday or Sunday, you will also receive a special gift. It is a Bible reading calendar. So you can set a goal in the new year to finish the Bible cover to cover. I will also prepare a 90 days New Testament reading for those who are relatively new to Bible reading and you have not even finished New Testament, or you would like to finish to read through the New Testament again with more seriousness, and that's wonderful. So I would like to have something so that people don't feel like I have to read through the whole Bible all at once, and it feels like such a daunting task. But always begin with the gospel of Jesus Christ, begin with the New Testament. And so please come, and this is our grand opening, a very special weekend for us, Crossway Christian Church. And on the 6th, the Saturday, we will have Saturday worship at 5, and then on Sunday we will have Cantonese worship at 9:30, and then English worship at 11:15. Of course, there will be lunch, and there will be lunch gathering, if for whoever who is available would like to join We really want to celebrate this, and we want to get to know you, and we hope to make this place a homey place for people seeking the Lord and striving to grow in faith. So welcome, and hope to see you there.